Why do people, sometimes the people closest to you, seem to focus on everything wrong with you? Not strangers. Strangers barely notice you. Not even acquaintances. They're pleasant to you because nothing between you is at stake. This is the people who know you. A parent, a partner, a close friend. Adler had an answer to this, and it isn't the one most people expect. When someone keeps finding fault with you, it usually isn't a measurement of you at all. It's a symptom of them. We're taught to treat criticism from people who know us as more accurate than criticism from a stranger. They know me. They wouldn't say it if it weren't true. That assumption is exactly what we're going to check. The mind has specific strategies for protecting a bruised sense of self-worth. Adler gave them a name: safeguarding tendencies. A strategy the mind uses to protect how you feel about yourself, often without you noticing you're doing it. Some of these strategies make someone else look smaller. Some do the exact same thing turned inward on the person carrying it. And some don't touch anyone's flaws at all. They just avoid the situation where the gap could ever show. By the end of this, you'll be able to spot which one is happening, to you or in your own head, and tell it apart from someone actually trying to help you. Here's the assumption most of us carry without ever checking it. If someone criticizes me, that criticism must be accurate information about me. Picture this. You get turned down for something you wanted: a job, a spot on a team, a second date. The rejection has one real reason behind it. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe someone else fit better. But the person delivering the news adds something extra. Not about the decision, about you. Your attitude, maybe, your effort, or just a feeling that you're not quite enough. That second comment has nothing to do with the actual reason you were turned down. It's a separate judgment, added on top of the real one. But it comes from the same person, in the same breath, at the exact moment you're already hurting. So your mind doesn't sort them apart. The real reason and the extra judgment blend into one thing. And that one thing is what stays with you. Not the timing, not the fit, just the sense that something in you was found lacking. Here's something Adler actually wrote about. People who feel a private sense of inadequacy sometimes protect themselves by finding fault in someone else instead of dealing with their own. That's where the extra judgment usually comes from. Not from anything true about you, but from someone managing something in themselves. He found that the mind doesn't sit with that feeling. It defends against it. That's the safeguarding tendency we just named. Not every piece of criticism is a safeguarding tendency. Sometimes a person tells you something true and difficult because they actually want to help you. The rest of this video is about telling the difference. Right now, one of these strategies is shaping how someone close to you treats you. Another is shaping how you treat yourself. Let's start with the one aimed at someone close to you. Adler called this specific strategy depreciation. Someone finds fault with another person as a way to shrink their own gap, the distance between who they are and who they wish they were. Not by pulling themselves up, by pulling the other person down. If someone can't close their own gap by becoming more, they can close it instead by making someone else seem like less. Picture a parent who worked hard their whole life and never got the recognition they wanted. Their kid brings home something they're proud of, and the parent's first response is to point out what's missing from it. That reaction isn't about the achievement. It's about something from their own past that has nothing to do with what their kid just did. Or picture a partner who had a bad day at work, got overlooked, got dismissed, and comes home and starts listing everything you've been doing wrong lately. The criticism didn't start at home, it just landed there. Here's why this happens specifically with people close to you, and almost never with strangers. A stranger's opinion of you doesn't touch how you see yourself. It has no weight. But someone who matters to you, their opinion has real reach. Making you look smaller only works as a strategy if your opinion of yourself is actually at stake. That's what closeness provides. That's the raw material depreciation needs. So the question isn't really, what's wrong with me that they keep noticing? The question is what gap they're standing in front of that they can't close any other way. But depreciation only explains what happens when that gap points outward at someone else. It doesn't explain what happens when it points at the person carrying it. Adler noticed the exact same strategy sometimes never leaves the person who feels the gap. Instead of shrinking someone else, it shrinks them. He called this self-accusation, turning that same fault-finding instinct on yourself instead of on someone standing near you. It sounds like the opposite of depreciation. It isn't. It's the same move aimed at a different target. Here's why the mind would choose that direction. If you criticize yourself first, and harder than anyone else could, nobody else's opinion can catch you off guard. You got there before they did. And there's a second, quieter payoff. If you already know you're not good enough, you never have to actually try and find out for real. The harsh inner voice isn't just punishment, it's also an excuse. Picture someone lying awake after a small mistake at work, replaying it, calling themselves careless, stupid, a screw-up. Far more than the mistake earned. That harshness was never really about the mistake. It's the same gap the parent in the last section was standing in front of. This time, nobody else is in the room. The gap is just talking to itself. So the fault-finding voice from someone else and the fault-finding voice in your own head can be the exact same strategy, just pointed in different directions. Which raises a further question. If the point was never really the mistake, or the flaw, or the failure, what does it look like when someone protects that same gap without criticizing anyone at all, themselves included? Not everyone who feels that gap responds by finding fault with someone else, or with themselves. Some people protect it a third way. Adler called this one accusation, but pointed at circumstances, not people. Instead of "something's wrong with you" or "something's wrong with me," it's "something's wrong with everything else." Think of someone who never criticizes you directly, but everything in their life is always someone else's fault, or bad timing, or bad luck. Nothing ever quite lands on them. That isn't modesty. It's the same gap, routed around both of you, onto the situation instead. There's a fourth version, and it's the simplest one. Some people don't blame you, or themselves, or the circumstances. They just quietly avoid anything that could test the gap in the first place. The friend who never shows you their work. The person who keeps their goals vague enough that they never technically fail at anything. If you never enter the race, you never lose it. But you also never find out you might have won. That's why some people close to you never criticize anyone at all. Not you, not themselves, not even bad luck. They found a fourth way to protect the same gap, by staying as far from it as possible. 4 strategies, 1 gap. Depreciation points at someone else. Self-accusation points inward. Accusation points at the situation. and the fourth just walks away from the whole thing. Only 2 of them will ever land on you directly, but now you can recognize all 4 when you see them, in the people around you and in yourself. Which leaves the actual practical question: when it does land on you, how do you know if it's real? So how do you actually tell the difference between someone giving you real feedback and someone protecting their own gap at your expense? Here's a specific test. Real feedback is specific, and it leaves you somewhere to go. It names one thing. It usually comes with what a better version would look like. You walk away knowing what to do next. Depreciation and self-accusation, when it's aimed at you instead of them, is general, and it repeats. It's rarely about one thing. It's about you as a whole. You always. You never. It doesn't come with a next step, because fixing the actual problem was never the point. The point was relief for them in that moment. Once you can name it, the next part is harder than it sounds. So here's the actual move. You don't have to argue with it, and you don't have to absorb it. Both of those keep you standing in their gap instead of your own life. You can just notice, this is coming from somewhere old, and it isn't a verdict on me. And let it pass through without setting up a home in you. That doesn't mean the relationship doesn't matter, or that you say nothing ever. It means something simpler. Their unresolved feeling about themselves doesn't get to decide who you are. You just stop giving it that power. And if you recognized self-accusation in yourself, the voice doing this to you at 2 a.m., the same move applies. You don't have to argue with it either. You just don't have to believe it on its word. Most of us go looking for the truth about ourselves in the loudest voice in the room. But the loudest voice is often just the oldest wound, talking. Sometimes that wound belongs to someone else, and it lands on you by accident. Sometimes it belongs to you, and it never left. Either way, you don't have to carry it to prove you love them, or yourself.